What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Daniel Acevedo.
Going, guys?
What's going on? So as you can see, I'm trying to enunciate better because these transcripts be beating me down. I'm like, I know I speak better than that. Thank you so much for tuning in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday, our topics, Wednesday, discussion, Thursdays, Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, just like this episode, where we just talk nonsense. So a lot less cyber, but we get really good watch hours on this one. So people
Nice.
seem to enjoy it. So thank you very much for checking us out, either through all of our platforms of choice, audio and video, or on the radio, 99.1 FM in the Atlanta metro area. Tune in, the app, and as well as Channel 10 in the DC Fairfax area on public access. But without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
You know it wasn't good. Let's stop with this. All right, everybody. Y'all see I'm on the show this week, so that means the Ravens lost. So Ryan allowed it to happen. You know what I mean? So no, it was a good game. And I said it before the weekend even came up. I said that's gonna be the best game of the weekend, and it really was. You know what I mean? Like when it started out, I was like, oh man, they about to boat race us, right? Like it started out, I was like, we're stopping
You
nothing.
marched right down the field on us.
No, man, look, Buffalo was doing it in the first half, but then we got it together, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, because they only scored 6 points in the second half. I was like, all right, we got it. Then Ryan said this offline. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna steal it from you. But he was like, man, it was like angels in the outfield, man. He was like, balls getting dropped, fumbles coming out. I was just like, what is going on
here? The punch out for the score, and then the 2-point conversion, wide open. He dropped it.
Yeah,
wide open.
The same, man. It's just all I have to say is we got a tight end for sale if anybody wants them. I don't know.
Hey, I'm just saying, God is a Bills fan. Thank you.
Maybe, man. I don't know. Hey, God can only do so much when you got 7 refs on the field helping as well. Right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like the devil was a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Oh man. But no, we lost. It was a good game, but we lost. So we gotta run it back again next year. See what we can do. I think last year was the best year for the Ravens to get that opportunity to do it. Like we had the best chance to get past the Chiefs, and we forgot who we were in the AFC Championship. And then this year, Buffalo was like, all right, don't leave us out. You know what I mean? So we gotta see what we're gonna do next year. We'll see. But other than that, watch Gladiator II. Bought it on Amazon. Watched it. I don't get the hype. Have you seen it?
No, I've been saving it.
Okay.
I'm so pumped. I heard it was obviously not as good as the first one, but a lot of people haven't seen the first one. Is it like when did they come out? Like 2 decades ago?
99. It's like 99, 2000.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Great movie. But I heard Denzel was doing his thing.
Man, I'm a Denzel fan. I really am, and he wasn't bad. I'm not saying that. I just
hear
my wife and I both
just couldn't carry the movie.
Agree. Yeah, my wife and I both agree. Like it's not for us. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's not for us, and I don't think it's because I didn't watch the first one right before that, right? Because they do a good job of letting you know what happened in the past. You know, like if you haven't seen the first one, they'll reference some stuff from the past so you know what's what. But there was some stuff I don't know. But when y'all watch it, let me know if y'all watch it.
So I hear it falls apart at the end. So what about before you get there?
Before that, I think.
Oh yeah.
Before that, me personally.
Did anybody have a strong performance though?
The bang. Denzel had a strong performance, and if I'm being honest, I would have liked to have seen more of Pedro Pascal. Because in the beginning, like there's a fight scene in the beginning because he's the general of the army, to where I'm like, oh, this is how the movie's gonna be. Like this is gonna be off the chain. You know what I mean? And it's I think that's how they do it. They suck you in with that good one, and then it's like, okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would have liked to have seen more of Pedro Pascal doing his thing. It wasn't so much of that. The fight scenes, I would have liked to have seen more. You know how I get down, man. Like if I'm gonna be there for 2 hours and some change, like chop more heads off or do more stuff.
Right.
But no, people will probably like it. But for me, it was so. But Modern Family, the wife and I, still watching it. I've gotten farther than what I did the first couple times I've actually seen it. So I'm into the later seasons with some stuff, and it's still funny, but I could tell like it was time to kind of hang it up, right?
To wrap it up.
Yeah.
They did 11 seasons. They did 11 seasons.
Yeah,
So
it's longer than I remember.
yeah, I know, right? I know, 11 seasons, and like when you remember from when they were kids to when they're older, you're like, oh my gosh, like you just watch them grow up in front of your eyes. But good series, but yeah, it was. We're gonna get through it this time, right? We're gonna finish it because I'm in the last
Right.
season, right? But yeah, started watching. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Newsroom with Jeff Daniels. It was an HBO show.
It's HBO. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
it was HBO. This is back in like 2010. It first came up.
Okay.
It's Jeff Daniels.
I know what it is. Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's interesting, man. So like if you like Aaron Sorkin, so like West Wing, was it Sports Radio or whatever it is, like that's who it is. Sometimes he puts some stuff in there that's just like, I could go without this, right? There's always a love story and how that doesn't work out. I'm like, I can do without this, but it's interesting to me. And I've seen it before. I watched the series before, but
yeah, it starts out with a bang, right? Does he go into like a when the college kids ask him why America's great or something, and then he just goes off on a tirade? And I was like, this is not Dumber and Dumber. Like I'm used to him being silly, right? So I'm just like,
yeah. So that's the thing is I thought the same thing, but he was not. Everybody knows it. A lot of people know him from Dumb and Dumber. He's not traditionally a comedian though.
Okay.
Like that's why I like him. Like I watch him in other stuff too, right? Like, and I'm like, man, he's a good actor, right? But he's not traditionally a comedian. He's a serious actor, and he does really good in this. But yeah, they in the first season, especially, like the real world events of things that happen, they highlight it from this fictional news organization and how they cover it, right? And the point of what they're trying to do is they're trying to say we report the news. We're not trying to sensationalize like everybody else is doing. But yeah, they have some important things that happened in the first season. So they had when not Event Horizon, what's the oil rig that went down in the Gulf?
Oh,
Deepwater Horizon. Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah.
They had an episode on that. They had an episode that was titled 5/1, like May 1st, when they went and got Bin Laden. Right, they got some interesting stuff in there. Right, when Senator Giffords was shot in the head, and it's how a news organization covers it and does all that. It's interesting.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
But that's pretty much it for me. But so Daniel, what about you, man?
Not much. So I'm good to be back. First of all, it's been 2 weeks, so I kind of missed this a lot. I miss seeing you guys and talking and doing the pod. Yeah, for real. Like it's like a highlight for me. My wife always says it's really important how you start the day and end the day. So like my Sundays is the last thing I do. So it's kind of like I feel like I finished the week really strong. Like I wake up Monday ready to like kick ass. So yeah, I really enjoy it. But
I'm not crying. You're crying.
But let's see. I missed the one 2 weeks ago. I had been I should be happy, right? My kid's been sick for a long time, almost like over a month. She had a cough and just really in the dumps. Everybody in the office was sick. I finally got sick this December, January, like the Christmas season. And it like kicked my ass for like 2 weeks. I was just out of it, like really, really bad. So that was 2 weeks ago. And then last week we went to go take maternity pictures. So yeah, we're excited. March, the first week of March, we'll be expecting our new kid. It'll be a little boy. So I wanted a girl, but I'm happy to have a boy. So I was more like, I love my daughter so much. So having two girls, it was like really exciting for me. But now that it's almost here, I'm actually pretty excited to have a boy. So it'll be really fun. So we're getting ready for that. We bought, I got a stroller here right next to me that's off camera, and we bought some bottles. And
you did it in the right order. So my oldest is a girl, and then I have two boys. And you'll see it's like night and day. Like even things on the potty training, you're like, how do they get it so fast? Versus boys is like, meh, just pooping myself. It's fine. Maybe this is my household, but yeah, the girl versus boy potty training was just different.
That's how it went for all of us. So all of us, the girls were first, like girls, and then
they'd be like, "This is disgusting. I'm not gonna do this anymore."
Yeah.
Boys are like, "I've been doing it." Yeah. What's the difference?
Yep, exactly how we planned it. We drew it up just like that. Girl first, and then boy. They say you have to hold your breath. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Just it's whatever God wanted. That's how it happened. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how these things work. A biologist or whatever. But yeah, the sense of media. Let me see. I'm trying to think what we've been watching. Nothing much. I really haven't been into much stuff lately. Just kind of been playing Marvel Rivals. Really into it. What have we watched? I'm trying to think. We haven't really watched anything recently. There's an anime that's not like on anybody's list probably. It's called Apothecary Diaries. It's like if you would cross.
It is on my list. I have not watched it yet.
It's fun. If you like detective, it's like someone that breaks things down. It's like a cross between detective and China lore, and then like medicine. It's like it's like if Sherlock Holmes was Chinese and a female, and then working for like an emperor or something like that. Like kind of the gist. It's interesting. I never thought I was gonna like it. My wife's like, "Hey, let's watch this." I was like, "Okay." Then we got hooked the first season, and we like binged the whole thing. So the new season came out, so we watched the first 2 episodes. It's been pretty fun. But besides that, we're trying to find the new show. So we're taking recommendations. So if anybody's listening to the pod on YouTube, like on the comment section, or shoot us a message on LinkedIn, like what shows should I be watching? Because I'm kind of kicking myself. Usually every year when they do the Academy Awards for the movies and stuff like that, I usually watch all the movies that get nominated just to see like this year, the ones that made it there, what the hype is. I like to see kind of, because at one point in time in my life, I wanted to make movies, whether it was like
Shan
writing,
does the opposite.
directing. Oh yeah, he's like, what's
If
on
it's
the
awards, I don't want to see it.
I'm not in it. Yeah, I'm not in it. I'm not.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
Some are really good.
Yeah, I cut No Country for Old Men. I hyped that one up. And you're like, not good.
That movie's
This is
great though.
It was a great
That
movie.
that movie is good, and that book is really good. Yeah, that one we'll have to agree to disagree. No Country for Old Men is
But I
really
cut
good.
you off, Daniel. So you're going into cinematography and what have you.
Yeah, no. So like at one point in time in my life, I wanted to like work making movies. But it's a rat race. But I enjoy the thought of like world building and creating, whether it would have been like writing or directing something or acting or writing a book. Or I still love that stuff. So like I like to see, even in like any movie, even if it's like a kung fu movie, even if it's an action movie, I like seeing the way the director and whoever's in charge are like cutting the scenes. Why are they making those choices to make the movie look that way, and what choices they make? Because good action, even in good action movies, you can tell who does good action, like who has a good action coordinator on their team, like the way he's making the movie, why he's making him look that way, and things like that. That's why, obviously, it's a what's the I forgot the phrase. It's like gun porn. Like the John Wick movies is kind of like gun porn or action porn. Like, but they have a great crew that's with them, and there's a reason why those movies are so successful. The way the movies are shot, and where other movies that are similar to it, where they pull their ideas from. It's like homages to those really classical, really good action movies, and that's what makes them really amazing.
But then they're never up for those awards you're talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about.
They
So,
are,
like,
I agree. I agree. Like some of those award shows are kind of
they're pretentious. They
Artsy.
are pretentious.
Artsy.
It's a nicer word.
they're
That's a
not.
nicer word that I was going to use. But
No.
yeah, it's more of kind of like Hollywood. Just giving each other reach rounds, to put it politely. Trying to like kind of vie for themselves in one sense or the other, and just kind of fluff up somebody or a narrative, right? But
Yeah, but the movie that goes out and makes $1 billion is never up for it, though, right? Like,
Right.
But there have
The
been
Mario
Dark Knight.
movie doesn't win best movie of the year, even though it made $1 billion, right?
But a lot of those Marvel movies, the good ones later on, got put on there. Maybe never for best movie, but the norm has been breaking down a couple of times. There have been some let offs in
Yeah, they
recent
have like
years,
CG,
even.
costume
Yeah,
direction, stuff like that. Where they took it a
but
nod.
only because
Yeah.
they expanded the pool. Only because they expanded the pool of what can be won, right? Like that's why. Like it's not like they were always doing that. Like Gone with the Wind wasn't up for best CGI. You know what I mean? Back in 1935 or whenever it was. Maybe I don't know.
You saw
I've
The
never
Wind?
seen it.
Oof.
I've never seen it. I can't tell you.
Let's say The Birds, like Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Have you watched that?
No.
Like that should have got best. It's wild. I'm gonna send you some scenes. It's hilarious.
I've seen it. I'm aware of it, right?
She's
like
in the phone booth. The birds are attacking the phone booth.
No. Screaming.
The birds. No. Classic.
You know what? It's funny because I was thinking about this too. And I don't want to take too much time. I forget how much time we have left. But before I kick it to Ryan, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, I was in the mood to go like watch a movie in the movie theater, but there's like nothing out right now that I really like want to go watch in the movie theater. And even kind of like on TV, because usually I go in waves. Like I'll binge a bunch of movies that I haven't seen in a while, and then I won't see anything for like 3 or 4 months. And I was like, I'm in the mood to like binge some stuff, but there's like no movies that are really like. TV series is a different thing, but like there's no movies that I really want to go watch.
It's always the time of year though, right? Like around like you get a movie or two in December to get families and kids and things of that nature.
I guess you're right.
And there's like a gap until like March, April.
The summer
blockbusters. Your Marvel flick, and then
February you got the new Captain America, right? That's got
February. It's like on Valentine's Day, right?
It is, isn't it? February 14th.
Yeah, I think so. Valentine's Day.
I don't know. I'll watch it, but I mean, I know Red Hulk is the corpse of Harrison Ford doesn't really like motivate me too much, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I don't know. I know, but that's all I got. Let's kick it to Ryan. I ain't got anything else. I'm just
Okay.
rambling at this
Well,
point.
so I got some show recommendations. I just
Go
finished
shoot.
I just finished Silo season 2.
How was
Um,
Silo and how was the other one, the one you were watching?
Severance.
Severance.
Yeah, how was that? How's
Yeah.
that going?
So Silo season 2 ended with a bang. Like season 1 I thought was really good. It's really gripping. You're learning like the
I
new
liked it a lot.
yeah. Season 2 kind of expands the lore, so it's a little bit slower as they start to break down like here's what's going on outside of our silo. Yeah, so there's some slowness in there, but just because they're trying to build out the lore, because you're just like what is going on? And I here's the thing, like shows like Lost don't give you any answers. Silo gave me a bunch of answers at the end, and then it leaves you with what about this? And you're like, oh no, another
Cliffhanger? Okay.
question. But I think I already figured it out. But I'll be pleasantly surprised if I'm wrong. Because I was wrong about season 2. Season 2, I had an idea of what, excuse me, I'm getting over cold, clear my throat in the mic. I had an idea of where they're going to go, and then they took a left that was actually really good. It wasn't like, oh, this is dumb. It was like they did something. I was just like, huh, like
Dang.
what is going on?
I'll
So
watch it because I
they
watched the first season with my
yeah, I think it's
wife,
worth your
so that
time.
way, yeah, that way we can talk about it because, well, I just canceled my Apple because like Apple hadn't released anything new in a long time, a couple months ago, and I was like, I can just resubscribe. Just like
Now I
I
came back with a
finished watch,
bang.
yeah, so
Yeah.
now I gotta watch those two shows because I finished. Hey, you're not watching House of Dragons anymore? What happened? I thought we were gonna
I'm
watch
waiting for
that
my
one
wife to
too.
catch up. Yeah, my wife has
Oh
to catch
man,
up. So she's still in season 1. So I'm like, I will, because I'm already forgetting stuff. So I was like, I will watch season 1 with you,
yeah,
so I can catch up myself. Because I heard season 2 is off the chain. So we're just
it's
trying
really
to
good.
trying
Yeah,
to, because she won't binge a show like I binge a show, right? Like she likes to like, okay, let's wait. Like, cause like Penguin, we're on. That's another show we're watching. Penguin, we're on
I should
the
watch that one.
finale, but we're watching it even though it's all out. We're still watching it one a week, right? Like she still likes that format. Where I'm just like, let's watch 3. Let's watch 4. Like we're to watch half of it. We might as well finish the other half. Like the whole
Yeah,
day on the couch. Like, but we have kids. You can't do that. It's bad habits I learned in Turkey. Like Turkey, I would just sit there like on a weekend. I had nothing going on. We on lockdown for whatever reason.
yeah,
So I'm gonna watch 2 series, marathon them, and then go to
yeah.
sleep. So I kind of carried that with me back to the States. It doesn't work like that with with a family. Let's just sit here for 18 hours.
We can't just start Saturday and finish on a Sunday night. We can't do
Right,
that. We
right.
just order pizza and then just like stay here in our pajamas
That's
all
what I
day
would do too. Yep. I would
for two
order
days.
pizza. Have somebody had to
Ah,
do
sounds
it
like
with
the
the
life.
scooter. It wasn't. You think it would be? It wasn't.
Not not every
Like
weekend or not every 2 days, but I mean it's not bad.
like that was a crazy assignment. I'll say that. I'm glad that I met the people and I got done what I had to get done school wise and
Yeah.
preparing for my transition to civilian life. But boy, that was the bottom third of my career.
Oh man, it's rough.
I
Yeah.
had it's not their fault, right? Like the people in Turkey are really friendly.
Mm,
All the people who rotated in and out were awesome, right? I met a lot of really good friends. But short tours are short tours for a reason, and when you extend on a short tour, it's not a good idea. So
rough. Yeah.
that's DoD talk, right?
Yeah.
Like we're at
Sorry,
DoD talk podcast. Yeah,
It's
we
don't
just
only
we just
don't
lost a couple
extend.
viewers.
but it was only because of where you were in your career, right? Like you were coming
Yeah.
up on retirement. You know what I mean? Like if you would
Yeah.
have done
Yeah,
this
but
in
so
the
what's
middle,
crazy though is I didn't go there to retire. Like that, Turkey was a pit stop, and then I lost the assignment because of the Space Force. Go Guardians! Thank you for taking over Patrick. So then they were like, we're going to send you back into combat comm situation where I'll be gone from my family again. So you're going to go to Hurlburt to be part of, I think it was like either first or second sauce. I was like, I just came from joint communication element. I cannot do that again. And that's when I had to extend to retire. So
Dang.
yeah, but I had an amazing career. And like I said, like the people were cool. It's just that there is a madness in repeating. It's like Groundhog's Day, right? People
Yeah.
arrive, they have an agenda, they find out they can't do what they want to do because of the environment, the climate, things of that nature. They get super down, and then they PCS. And you're supposed to be in that rotation, but you be in the continuity. And somebody comes in and is like, "Hey, I want to do this." I'm like, "No, they tried that last 2 rotations. Don't do that." And then they try it, and then it fails, and then they get super down, and then they leave. You get no production out of these people.
Yeah.
And you're like, I live here. I need you to do stuff. I'm tired of not getting stuff done. But I digress. Where were we going with that before I just had
My bad.
a
I don't
Vietnam
know.
flashback?
I know. Yeah, we just derailed you. Sorry for
So
all the
I
viewers we
want.
lost during this.
We're talking about streaming through the weekend, and you're like, it's
Oh,
not.
okay. There we go. There we go. Wow, that went left. So Severance 2, I'm watching that in real time, and so that's a weekly show. I think they're on episode 2 just dropped. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie though, Severance 1, I had to watch the Cleft Notes. I had to watch the YouTube because it was so slow. It's so slow. But season 2 seems to be like running real fast. So
Really? Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna hit a low and it's gonna get slow again.
Yeah.
But it's
So what you're telling me is that season 1 was up for Academy Awards. That's what I hear from what you're
probably
saying.
It
That's
probably.
probably was. Ben Stiller, executive producer, and I think he directed
Yeah.
too. It's a very dark comedy, right?
Yes.
So
It's like the anti Shannon show. It is
yeah, I
as
don't think you won't like
slow
it.
as you can think.
No,
You guys,
little to no action.
you guys are good friends. Thank you for the warning. Y'all are good
Little
friends.
to
Yeah.
no
Appreciate
action.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
But yeah, very, very dark comedy. So if you like dark comedy, it's got it in the spades. And then Penguin. So I'm finishing that one up, loving it. It's crazy that I swear the show's better than the movie. Like the movie was not bad. Like I enjoyed the Batman.
Yeah, it wasn't too
I
bad.
think it was a little too long.
Yes.
You both thought it was good. You both thought the Batman was good.
I didn't.
I don't.
I thought it. I
I
thought
don't
it
think
was.
it's bad.
I don't think it's
I
great.
don't. Yeah, I don't
Good.
think it's
Good.
bad.
Not great.
Yeah, I don't know how to say. I don't know what word I need to use to describe it, but I know it's
I
not
liked.
bad.
I liked how it was. It was grittier
Yes.
and he was very unpolished. Right. It's year one Batman.
Yes.
So
Yep,
I
I like
like
that.
that direction. Right. I'm vengeance. And he's just pummeling the guy. Like that's not clean at all.
Walking in the scenes, not up on
Yeah.
the screen, down
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
Right.
floor.
Right.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
walking and getting beat down. Like so. I
Yeah.
kind of like that aspect of it, but I thought it was a little too long. And I thought that its big bads were not that great. However, the Penguin has kind of flipped that. Like I think the movie is probably still like if I will go back and watch the movie, I probably still feel the same way. But he was one of the best characters. They had the least screen time, and now he has all the screen time. And they started kind of filling the gaps about Carmine and all the other stuff. So I think that this spinoff really does do that movie justice. It grounds it a little bit more, even like even though you have a ridiculous bad guy, right? In the Penguin, it makes him feel like a real mobster, like trying to come up in the game. You're like, man, this is if only they could do this with the rest of the DCEU, but they're not even. I don't think this is even part of it. This is its own thing. So I'm just like, you have something here where you're kind of grounding the characters. Like Gotham is a real gritty city. So I highly recommend The Penguin. But
Where does it stream?
honestly,
Paramount?
Max.
Max. Yes, on Max. So I highly recommend. Yeah, WB is part of the
Warner
Max.
Brothers is
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. HBO and all that good stuff. Discover. So I highly recommend. But it's limited series, so I don't think it's going to get a sequel. I think it's just you're going to get it, and they're going to hopefully reinsert him in the movie. I haven't watched the last episode, so I don't know how it's going to work. But hopefully it'll be reintegrated into the next Batman as a bigger bad. Right, is what I'm hoping for. But I'm like, okay, they do some really innovative stuff in how they ground it. Because I've always been a Batman fan, right? I think that's one of the best DC characters, bar none. And even in its most fantastical, right? Still feels kind of gritty. Still a detective. His superpower is just being super smart, right? But sometimes I like when they go back to the ground level, right? As opposed to MCU, exact opposite. So like they had a comic book called GCPD where they showed Gotham from the perspective of the cops, and it was nuts because it's
Oh,
like
that's
they're
pretty
so
cool.
underpowered.
Yeah.
They're stumbling across like Mr. Freeze just froze a bunch of their friends to death. And it's just like, how do you deal with that, right? Without becoming a bad guy yourself, right? Start taking
Yeah.
money and bribes because it's like I don't want no part of this. So I always like that part of it too. Like I think it can go both ways and still be coherent. I think the rest of DC has issues with that juxtaposition. But that's what I watched. And then finally I beat Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, the DLC, where he plays Ada Wong. Resident Evil 4 is a masterpiece. Like, so I kind of want to go back and play some more. However, because I like getting platinums to games I like, getting the platinum trophy because I played on the PS5. I got too much on my backlog. I gotta delete it from the hard drive. I gotta move on. But it was so good. It was real good. So I highly recommend Resident Evil 4 remake as well if you have not played it yet. So that's it for me. Back to Final Fantasy VII. My goal is to beat it midway through this year. Is my goal, so I can jump back on the Tears of Kingdom bandwagon and beat that by the end of the year. Is the goal for that. So before it gets a remake on Switch 2 or whatever. But definitely hit us up. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. Definitely hit us up by all the social medias. Go by our name, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much on all the platforms, but LinkedIn is where I'm the most active. And where can they find you, Daniel?
On LinkedIn under my name, Daniel Acevedo.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure. Go Bills!